Next question about Kartikeya. Kartikeya is the most important god. Okay, this is 10 marks again. So do you agree with this view or not? Pareil, you can agree, you can disagree, or you write both, right? So is he the most important god? Okay. Si je viens une question like this, it can be like Durga is the most important goddess. Shiv is the most important god. Do you agree with this or not? Right? You will need to write it in the same way, right? Let's say you can normalement, right? Not only Kartikeya is important. All other gods also, they have certain importance, a particular importance, depending on people. Il dépend de nous. Si moi, me compte Shiv, Shiv will be important for me. If someone likes Krishna, Krishna will be important to the other, right? And it will also depend on location of the person. Location with a côté resté, geographically. It will also depend on that. Let's say in Bengal, in India, most Hindus, I'm not saying all, most Hindus, they are, they pray Shakti, right? They pray Durga. So it will depend on that as well. Okay. So in your answer, it's better that you write both things. It's not that only Kartikeya is the most important god. Others, they have their importance as well for various reasons, right? But now when you say God, we have discussed that earlier. I'll just do a recap of it. Please give me 1 minute. Allô? Bonjour. Okay, sorry. So Ekam Sad Vipra Bahuda Vadanti, that there is one God, but sages or wise men call him by various or many names, right? The God actually, it's also, you can write truth, right? So then you will have to write it here. Donc, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. There is only one God. Okay. Pena beaucoup bonté actually comment l'hindouisme perceive it to be, like people perceive it to be, que there are many gods. It's not that. There's only one God, but with different names. The ultimate one is only one. It's not two, right? Like in the Veda, it has been said, Ekoham Bahushyam, right? Ekoham, that is, God said that I was one and I wanted to multiply. Bahu means buku. I wanted to become many, to multiply. And he multiplied himself. Likewise, God is one and he has many forms depending on the work he has to do. Il prend forme de Brahma, the man sitting on the lotus, to create. He takes the form of Vishnu to preserve. He takes the form of Shiv to destroy, of Saraswati for knowledge, of Kali to destroy, of Ganesh to be the remover of obstacles, for example, of Indra de nous la pluie, Surya, soleil, right? So it depends on his duty he has to do. Comme ça même, il prend ce forme et ce nom, right? So Ideally, that will be the very first thing to write in this answer. Godly actually is sagun, right? Sagun means formless. Marching, sorry. Sagun veut dire in form. Nirgun veut dire formless, right? God is usually formless, mais il prend certain forms depending on his duty, right? Now, quelque part, Kartikeya is more important than Brahma. Gods such as Vishnu, Krishna are often the center of bhakti devotion and has wide influence on people, even in diaspora countries. Gods like Kartikeya, like Vishnu, etc., they are somehow more important, especially Vishnu and Shiv and Shakti. Ça, c'est the three main sects of Hinduism. C'est Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism. Vaishnavism, c'est those who pray Vishnu. Shaivism, c'est qui prie Shiv. Shaktism, c'est qui prie Shakti, Durga, right? Basically, these are the three major sects of Hinduism, right? Kartikeya, il n'est pas vraiment dedans, right? So, you may write que Vishnu, Krishna, or the three sects, au cas avec tous les trois sectes, they are somehow more popular in the world. You may compare Ganesh and Kartikeya also and suggest that it is Ganesh and not Kartikeya who is worshipped before any project, right? Nous pouvons discuss là, est-ce que Kartikeya is the most important god? Mais au fait, Ganesh aussi est important parce que Ganesh is the one to be worshipped the first before any undertaking. You can write that as well. However, Kartikeya aussi important for certain people, for certain Hindus, right? For example, qui fait nous prier Kartikeya parce que he is the remover of diseases. So those who have diseases, who want to be healed, who want to be cured, they're going to worship him, right? For Hindus living in a particular place, Kartikeya might have a particular importance. Let's say for the South Indian people, all of them, they know Kartikeya, all of them, they worship Kartikeya. But if you see North Indian people, not all North Indian people worship Kartikeya, right? So it depends geographically, parce que quand the mango competition with Ganesh and Kartikeya got angry at the end of the competition parce que Ganesh, actually, in fact, was not fair, right? So he left the Himalaya, he left his family and went towards the south. Et il commence à vivre la montagne. C'est pour ça la plupart des temples of Kartikeya, they are on mountains or hills, right? So, comment on peut dire, geographically, aussi, il y a une certain difference, right? Now, the Kavadi celebrated, for example, in Mauritius may also prove the importance given to him. The Kavadi festival in Mauritius is celebrated with great pomp, right? Everyone, even irrespective of religion, they participate in that. For example, in Ajimunjut Pataju on the road, right? So this is also a way to celebrate Kavadi. I need to be a Hindu for me to celebrate Kavadi, right? So back to the question, Kartikeya is the most important god. You discuss. Really important, mais other also they are important depending on people's likings, depending on where the person is, right? So you can discuss all this. I continue. I hope you're not tired.
No.
So, Novembre 2019, right? Question number 1, name the preserver god Facile. Give one item that he is often shown holding, qu'il y a attrapé dans la main, right? One item. Next, describe one way that Durga's warrior nature is shown in a murti. Sa question novembre 2018 là, avec sa question là, il est un petit peu différent. Dans le cas là, Tiena, I'll show you. Describe how Durga might be shown in a murti. Okay. Et Sana, Lidiao, Durga's warrior nature in a murti. D'accord. So you do that as well. Quand on dit warrior nature, c'est qu'ils a fait paraître very fearful. Explain one, et pas oublier, sorry, Lindsay, describe one way. So you select only one and then you describe. Don't write two things. Let's say if I write, she holds many weapons. Weapons, c'est normalement un warrior qui servit ça. So, on peut dire, il y a many weapons. So, this is my one way. Now you describe it, you write about it. For example, when she was created, the gods gave her those weapons. She used these weapons to destroy the demons, etc. This is the way you should write. So you select one and then you write. Explain why worshipping Durga might be important to Hindu women. Okay. Qui fait lien important for Hindu women. You read in the exams, you read your question well. Si les tiens Hindus, the answer pour un petit peu différent. Not too much, but un petit peu différent. Ici, là, c'est Hindu women, particularly women here. So Durga is an example of female strength, of authority, right? She refused to marry and instead be a figurehead for female independence. Okay. Si nous get bien, c'est Parvati qui est mariée with Shiv. Okay. But nous dire que Durga, son husband, c'est Shiv, oui, mais as Durga herself, dans sa forme de Durga là, she didn't marry anyone, right? For this reason, some Hindu women may see her as a role model, right? Or as a patroness of the feminist movement, feminist, right? For other Hindu, Durga may not be perceived as a role woman. Partout women qui paraît, not all women, they want to be independent, right? Not all women can be rebellious. Donc, some women, they may not consider her as a role model. She is a goddess and not so bound by the dharmic codes that apply for mortal women. Comme on dit, là, ne pas vraiment compare our duties because she's divine. However, women might see her as the embodiment of virtues. Mais n'importe comment, il y en a beaucoup de virtues like determination, resilience, strength. Durga is often shown as a loving mother. C'est pour ça que madame aussi pour bien content Durga, parce que they have that motherhood in them, protecting them ferociously. Tout maman il pour protect ses enfants, right? And women may worship her in this sense that both as their own mother ou bien as the patroness or the role model for themselves. Malgré que we are women, we worship her as a mother ou bien just like a deity who is very courageous, ou bien as a role model, right? So you write her importance for Hindu women. Next one, Ganesh is more important to children than adults. So you have to discuss. Again, either you agree or you disagree or you write both. Bon, question là, Lydia, Ganesh is more important to children than adults. Est-ce que only children pray Ganesh or even adults pray Ganesh? Is Ganesh reserved for only children or anyone, irrespective of age, of caste, of class, right? So you may write about it. He is very approachable, comme on disait là, parce que Ganesh, tous les temps, vous trouvez portrayed as a youth, as a child, ou bien as a youth. Jamais ne vous montrez like an adult in any picture, right? And he's quite loving as well, parce que by his body structure, especially by his face, you know, being the elephant, right? But the elephant, an elephant, li ka vet méchant si towards us, but li pa méchant, si quand nous geti nous pa gen peur, right? He is associated with a very big appetite for sweet foods. The children, of course, they like banti gâteau, banti sweet foods. As a student, we pray him for knowledge, for success. Even on Ganesh Chaturthi, we have stories associated to his birth, right? So we somehow feel certain attachment towards Ganesh. Ganesh is also associated with the Brahmacharya ashram. Brahmacharya ashram, say the life of a student life, right? It's not ashram, particularly ashram ki nous comprend as in Hindi. So Brahmacharya ashram, say the student's life, where we learn, we go to the Gurukul, etc., right? So he is associated with the Brahmacharya ashram. He's a student, he's a scholar, he's very intelligent. Parce qu'il écrit Mahabharata. He note down, yes, Mahabharata. So he's intelligent to do that. Children pray him parce que for them to go in the exams, the god of knowledge, and especially that he is a guarantee, Ganesh is a guarantee that all the work will be successful. Ganesh is associated with new beginnings. N'importe qui travaille ne pourra commencer. We will take the name of Ganesh, right? So Ganesh is popular, finally, not only among adults, but also children. Maintenant, in Butla, I didn't write it. Even when talking about adults, you have widows also among them who do worship Ganesh, right? So that their widowhood could be ward off, could be removed, could be, ward off in their future life or in their future birth, right? So you do mention that also in the work. So this is your question. So you may write other things as well. I want to see how you reflect, how to criticize, you write on it, right? Analyze things. Now, number 2, name a male god who is shown as a warrior. Name the weapon which he has. Maybe you will write Ram. Because Ram is an incarnation of Vishnu, you can write Ram. If you're one example, and if you're writing Ram, so what is the weapon? Fais bien attention in the male god, okay? Outline one story about Shiv. One story. You may say that he opened his third eye to destroy Kamdev, ou bien je peux dire, he opened his third eye to give light to the world, ou bien he cut off the head of Ganesh. Okay, many stories, there are many stories related to Shiv, about Shiv. So you write one. Et pas oublier le mot outline. Don't give too many details about the story. Explain why Shiv is shown in different forms. God takes many forms, right? The God who is formless, il prend différentes formes, basé sur le travail qu'il y a pour faire, as per his duties. But Shiv also has many other forms depending on his role he has to play. Faire comme si nous causons Nataraj. Okay, one example is Nataraj. He takes the form of Nataraj because in that form he dances. He's the cosmic dancer, right? So you write about his forms. You may write about the Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is when he is in meditation, right? Or you can write him as a father, as a caring husband, right? So it depends what you will select to write. Now, Vishnu is the most important god for Hindus. Yantipe comment dire sa question nous discuss lo Kartikeya. Kartikeya is the most important god. Same. Vishnu is the most important god for Hindus. You have to discuss. We Vishnu are important, but others also, they are important. One thing you please include in your answer, that Vaishnavism, a sect, the Hinduism, it consists of people who worship Vishnu. And Vaishnavism is the largest Hindu tradition, having majority of the Hindus who are Vaishnav. Okay, that's an approximation. It's not the exact figure, but it's true that majority of Hindus, they are Vaishnav. Maintenant, Vaishnav, pas veut dire les prier Vishnu. Ils sont capables de prier Ram, Krishna, parce que they are forms of Vishnu. And quand les prier Ram, il aussi un Vaishnav, right? So do write about this. It's very important. And how Krishna has given the Bhagavad Gita, parce que, comme on peut dire Krishna, c'est Vishnu, right? So it's important for us, because he has given the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, right? And other gods also, they are important. Let's say you are saying Ganesh. Il pas nécessairement, je t'écris à l'autre God, c'est pas le Kartikeya, le Durga, le that and that. Select your example. One example is Ganesh here. You can write one example, Kartikeya, he is the remover of diseases. So you can write about him also, right? So, sa qualification, you need to expect for any kind of god, right? Vishnu, Kartikeya, Shiv, or any, right? Now, the last one, November 2020. Name two objects that might be held by a Murti of Ganesh, of Durga. Two objects, right? Outline one story about Durga. Let's say the Trinity in Kreli, in the new weapons, or you will say she destroyed the demons, Kumalin destroy, let's say, Rakta Beach, right? Anyone. Explain the significance of Ganesh broken tusk to Hindus. Ganesh and broken tusk. What is its significance? Okay, you need not write everything here. You can choose. The broken tusk, he broke his tusk in a Bokuban interpretations. Say he was writing down the Vedas, ou bien the Mahabharata actually. And Supreme Kase, he broke his tusk and continued to write. Okay, so you fais comment je peux écrire ça histoire. Right. Now you write its significance. What does this show? That he broke his tusk. Premièrement, he is very sharp. He is clever. He's sharp, plutôt. He is very intelligent. Parce que he knew at that time what to do. That is, he was able to decide on time. Quand Supreme Kase, il disait continue écrire Mahabharata. But he did not waste time on thinking of what should be done or not. He is wise enough, he could decide to break one of his tusks and to write the Mahabharata. And also, breaking his tusk, you know, the tusk is a beauty for an elephant. Beaucoup de monde, j'ai trouvé dans le film, je tue un elephant, je prends le tusk, je t'ai it's for millions, right? So it's the beauty of the elephant. Ganesh sacrificed himself to write the Mahabharata, to write something to give knowledge to people, right? So this is actually the significance of Ganesh having only the one tusk. As there's a capable aussi dire his encounter with Parshuram. In une autre histoire qui dit Parshuram qui coupe so one tusk, right? Qui fait arrive ça, you can write also. Or there is another story that when he fell, the moon laughed at him. He broke one of his tusks and threw at the moon. Right? Ça, c'est cette histoire-là. Maintenant, what is the lesson behind it? You write. So you select one, you write. Do not write everything. Select your one story, and then you give explanation, give details about it. Right? Next one. The gods are the same wherever you are. Sa question intéressante. Bon Dieu, il reste pas, modèle en créole, bon Dieu, il reste pareil, n'importe que nous étions. We are in Mauritius, someone else will be in America, l'autre là, il pour quelque part d'autre, bon Dieu pour rester pareil. Ça veut dire, if I pray Shiv here in Mauritius, Shiv is like this. In America, someone is praying Shiv, Shiv is also like the same. Right? Ça veut dire, bon Dieu, il n'a pas changé, il reste pareil. It's true, God, the transcendental, God, the unchangeable, God is eternal, right? It's not there, but you can write. And the stories of God are fixed in scripture. So they are not going to change. See, dans Shiv Puran, in there, Shiv Kumsa. Whether you take the Shiv Puran to Mauritius or to America, it will always be like that, right? So the God is not going to change. It will remain the same. His duty also are not going to change. Whether in India, whether in Mauritius, it will be the same or itself, right? But so different gods are likely to be worshipped in different places, both in India and outside, depending on different traditions, right? And especially different kind of festivals. The Maurice and certain festival ki popular in India, other kind of festival, they will be more popular. So it will depend on geographical structure as well, right? So try to write about this, saying that God, they are the same wherever you are. Okay, whoever you are, also God will remain the same. I can be a great sinner, I can be a worshipper. God will remain the same, kind, gentle. Next one, name the creator God. One feature of a murti of this God, creator God, say Brahma. Okay. Brahma is not only in your syllabus to learn, but they form partie dans Trinity, right? Describe one belief about Vishnu. One belief about Vishnu, peut-être vous allez preserve ou bien les incarnate. You refer to Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna has said. If you know the verse, you write it. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Okay. So this is one belief that Vishnu will come every time when needed, when adharma will rise. Explain why Shiv might be important to Hindus, right? Sa question là aussi, je disais be ready to get a question like this, because they will explain why Durga is important, why Shiv is important, why Kartikeya is important. The Trimurti are the most important Hindu gods. So I guess by now you have known the trend of the questions. Avant-Tena Kartikeya is the most important god. Après Tena Vishnu. And now it says the Trimurti. The Trimurti, ça veut dire Brahma, Vishnu and Shiv. Tous les trois. So in the same way, you have to answer the questions. I have it here, you can read it, right? Trimurti important. Dans Trimurti, pas oublier, you have to mention more importance is given to Vishnu and Shiv than to Brahma. And even, you know, in the world, there is no temple of Brahma, apart in India, only one place it's there. Okay, but Sinopena, we can temple of Brahma, right? So you can answer this, right? Who are they important? Are they the most important? Maintenant, Ganesh aussi vient à l'importance. Goddess Durga also has certain importance, right? So this is the way the questions will be. And you do the questions. Fais tous les 3 années, 18, 19, 20. And you send me your questions. Ban question N.3.5. I guess it will be quite easier. Mais question 10 là, fais bien attention to get your 10 marks. You need to give all details content-wise and reflection. Fait comment dire sa question, je suis là. Here it is. The girls are the same wherever you are. C'est pas quelque chose qui se peut gagner ça dans a textbook, right? You need to reflect on these things, right? And your criticism, your analysis, you will get your marks, right? So this is it for today. If you have any question, you can ask me now, or you can send me a message in the group or individually, right? And then